Wild Card Tourney. It's been a long journey here. We had a group stage with 4 games. The top 2 from each group made it, and we had 16 players. And now we're down to 8. And the winners from here, the winners of the quarterfinals, become the next cohort of the RoC Elite. And they'll play in their semis matches, then their bronze and gold. For this one, in the quarterfinals, we'll see who makes it. But this is game 1, and at the bottom we have 2 Sai in red. Sai, if you remember, he came on for the director's game. I was able to whoop him, so we love to see it. And we're going to hope that he can deliver a better performance than he did in that one. I think in that one he should have gone with his gut a little bit more. I think we talked about that. I may have given him a wrong read, but it was a tough spot. I mean, I'm not sure. Here, deciding to go for the 8-10-5. Now, generally because ore is only three hexes. It's going to be a relatively lacking resource. Brick is also 3 hexes, but in this case, we have plenty of brick, right? So this is an amazing spot. I think it corners off the 8 because Spatula Steve in the orange, who was a previous champ, won our first tourney of this year, the Sheep Tourney, and actually came back, took a break, and came back for this one in particular. Just like extra large tit did on the other side, right? So 2 very strong players here, both very proven. Sai obviously did win himself in the first ever tourney. I guess it was a season back then, I'm not sure, but I think this is a really good spot to be in for game 1, right? Being able to place first is really important a lot of the times in one-on-one, and especially the reason for that is being able to corner off that strong ore, right? Now, for sure, Spatula Steve is going to want to take some ore on their placements. Very strong spots here, right? So I would say free road here is very tempting. Point down, can go here, can go here. I would do that. And then you're lacking on sheep. So maybe something like this. Woodport is all the way over here. What Sai needs here is a brick and a wheat. So that would be something like this or like this. Or, he could obviously just go right there. So this is a tough spot. So going here. So this is I imagine Spatula Steve goes here next, which is what we thought. But that leaves the spot open, and I think that's a very dangerous spot to leave open. So that makes me think, actually, I would go here instead. Point this way, get the 3-for-1 port. I think that makes a lot of sense. Pointing down here, I think this will be the best placement. Doesn't allow for this spot to get taken, but forgoes that spot. Takes the free road. It's a fair play. But I feel like, with the 9 rolling, you get 2 wood. You generally won't need 2 wood in this game at once, right? Like you'll want to have 2 brick in hand for them to be useful, and that's kind of a rare occurrence. So I would actually go here, kind of even up. You don't get the coordinated 9s, but the 9s aren't really compatible, right? So you are able to take the spot, point to the port. Now Sai here could obviously take this 3-for-1 port directly, but you're still in a really good road building shape to cut him off and take this spot, take over the whole board. So I think this would have been a better second placement here for orange. We'll see what Sai does. So Sai needs brick and wheat, but I think this is clearly the best spot. You could consider this as well, but he's going for the 3-for-1 port anyways. So I think go for this, get the wood port, or we cheat game, done deal. So early predictions. I think red. I think 2 Sai will take this, and a nice high from Spatula Steve. We appreciate that shout out. Good luck to both players. I'm excited for this one. This is 2 seasoned champs going at it. You don't see this very often. Head to head, mano a mano. I'm excited. I'm excited. 30 seconds to play, so coming down to the wire, but I feel like that's the most obvious spot. I think this is the most obvious spot. I don't think any other spot comes close. You could obviously go here for the free road and then point up, but Spatula Steve also has a free road, so this is a race, and I don't like that move personally. I think this is just such a slam dunk of a spot in terms of production for cities, and you have the coordinated 8s for cities. Even if one of these spots is blocked, you still have wheat and ore production, and you get the sheep and the wood, and you do have the one road here, so you could be concerned about the cutoff here, but it's a rare occurrence. It's not very likely. I think Spatula Steve would rather have the production here, and it's safer. Or I guess you wouldn't, but I guess Spatula Steve would rather have the production there. But at the same time, I don't know. It's tough. I think he might have been scared. He might have been scared of a cutoff here, which is fair. But now it's a race and it's really tense actually. So we'll see who gets to this spot or this spot first. It's gonna be crucial. And this is interesting too, right? Because both of them have starting roads. Both of them have pretty even wood and brick production. But Sai has slightly more brick and diversified wood production. So we'll see who ends up on top here. No one is able to rob anyone else. So this is a road race. 100% pure road race. The knight won't have any effect. The robbers won't have any effect. So we'll see. So far, nothing crazy. Who has gotten anything so far? So Tusai got a wheat and an ore. So nothing road building wise for anyone else. I think. Okay, so got wood, we got brick. So one wood away for Spatula Steve and one brick away for Tusai. Both of them do need sheep still, but they do share that spot, so no one's racing there. But a road settle is all it takes, and they're one roll away. It's either a and here it is, and Spatula Steve's got it. Spatula Steve's got it. They're going to road and settle. Ooh, passing. Because they're waiting on the sheep. They're waiting on the sheep. Makes sense. And this is going to hurt too. If they can't win this race to the 10, it's going to be a tough battle. Because they require a 10 to roll for all their dev card production, settlement production, and city production, and that's a really bad spot to be in. I'd rather have this 8 production for sure, and so would Sai 100%. Foregoing this 8 wheat is so dangerous because no wheat equals defeat. That is the 10th of the game, and that still holds up in 1-on-1. So we're gonna see who can get there first. That's the golden spot. And a non-committal road there. I don't agree with this play. I think that this spot is just so valuable that even committing a road there is worth it. Now, could be thinking of the cutoff here. That would be especially devious. Definitely has another road in hand. I think has 2 roads in hand. Could actually commit the cutoff, which would be really, really nice. But 10 cards in hand for Sai. And no brick though. No second brick as far as I know. No second brick. So the 6 is just not hit. And here working on a city somehow, which is interesting. I'm surprised that no one is interested in this spot. But city on that, but that doesn't really help if you don't have enough wheat to back that up. And there's the road and settle. Yeah. I don't think that this is the right play. I think, if anything, if you could have traded for wood for a brick, and then road settled, I think that would have been better. I can obviously road here, and then has the wood port. I imagine this would be a tempting spot for both of them. But this is absolutely huge for orange, even though Sai does have the city. Because Sai can't do much with this production, right? You need the wheat, and there's only 3 wheat here. Placing 1 road, so cutoff I don't think is likely, but it is a possibility here. And these would be expensive roads all around, right? Maybe would like to have that road back. Because I would rather go here, right? This is not really doing anything for me unless you know that you're going to connect for longest road. But even then, I wouldn't commit to that so early. Because what are you going to do with longest road early game, right? The roads are supposed to be for expansion. But now, keep in mind, both of them are at 3. Friendly Robber is no longer in effect. So this is going to be a purely... this is going to be a regular game now, right? As far as, the weird rules for 1v1 go, this is the start and end of that. Other than the 9 discard and the 15 VP, but we got a road here, so being able to claim this 8, which is really nice, and being able to claim that wood port, which is really nice. Perhaps that was the plan from Sai all along. Which is why he wasn't too worried about sitting here first. Now, this still is very nice. Specialist Steve needs to build 2 rows to get to this 3-4 port, or 2 rows to get to this 3-4 port. So if I'm Specialist Steve, I go for this one, because then that cuts off Sai from ever getting to that port, to any 3-4 port, right? So we'll see, and this is a really nice block. Now no brick production for orange, and yeah, it'll be difficult for them to kind of come back from this, and already getting punished as 2 wood goes to red. And the 9 hits. So that wood port is really nice right now for Sai, if he can get there. So now a city incoming, I think. Which is very impressive in itself, just because, well, actually, it could just be dev carding, because probably just wants to get down to below 9. Dev card makes sense here. I think that's fine. You could also just pass, and that's fine too. I think dev card makes sense because he doesn't have anything behind, and you'll be able to have a knighted guarantee that you get this off your spot. But opting to city. And the reason it took so long is because she was trying to figure out where should I city. And the reason she cities here is because there's so much wheat production already that she's getting. This road production, she doesn't really need that much, right? Like, what do you do with even more wood? But here, you get the sheep, which is very critical, because that balances out your dev card production. You get some extra ore, some extra sheep, and some extra wood, but you don't need the wheat. And this brick is blocked anyway, so whatever. So this is the obvious spot. I think it makes sense. Now, next step is going to be to connect or something. This road has to mean something. But very much would have rather gone this way and completely cut off red. It's got to be a savage game, right? 1-on-1. Because every move you make is 100% in your best interest or your opponent's best interest. And you have to make sure that more moves are made that are in your best interest compared to your opponent. And that's how you win. And some of the best ways are these cutoffs, right? It's about the spatial awareness that you use the rows for. And now here, red is able to finally settle on that wood port, and that's absolutely huge. Immediately getting rewarded with an 8 roll. So now very close to a city again, and yeah, I think the two 4-for-1 trades to make that settlement happen were totally worth it, and really good shape now for Sai. I think this was smart. I think he might have known that he may not win this race, but he will definitely win this race. So I think that was smart by him. Now, two Sai here. Very happy with this robber on the 5. Really hampers the ability of Specialist 2 to get anywhere. And especially in this scenario, when Sai wants to secure this 3-4 port next, that'll be really nice. And finally able to build it, buying a dev card. Really good shape, really good shape. If I had to predict a winner, it's tough. It is tough. The reason it's tough is because this 8 is really nice with this 8. But the overall ore production is relatively even, or it will be. It will be very soon. I mean, even now it is pretty even, right? So, let me just make sure I'm charging. You know it's pretty even. So, I think that it makes sense to kind of give it a toss-up because they have even sheep production and about the same wheat production. And about the same wood production. I will say though, the ports are going to matter, and Sai has the early access to the port, already has one, about to get the second one. And the ports will probably be the difference in this game. But it is very close, right? We'll see. It's kind of insane how matching the production is between the two players. It's kind of the perfect board in a lot of ways. Yeah, now placing here on the 10. It's got to be a bit tough, right? Because we're looking at this and we're thinking like, the 10 wheat is a fine hit, right? But it's tough because you can't really hit the sheep or the ore, and even the 10 wheat is the best wheat. But it doesn't completely stop wheat production. And your only edge now on wheat is this 3. Which is fine. But it's just not a huge advantage, right? I wonder if hitting here would be better, just because it takes away a resource completely, and when you don't even have a port as orange, that's going to hurt. Like, you can't even go anywhere, right? So I think I would go here, but it is tough. It is tough. Here, rolling some again, so moving it back. But we do see Sai here being able to settle on a 3-4 port. Sai's in great shape. Can settle here and connect the longest road, and that'll be a tough road to beat, especially with the one road wasted here, right? So even if Spatula Steve connects here, this is one road wasted, and Sai would not have wasted any roads so far. So Sai would eventually be able to max out at 15, whereas Spatula Steve would only be able to max out at 14. So Sai would win that race in the long term, right? Obviously things can happen, and it would go back and forth, but these little things are going to be costly if it gets into that late game. Sai's in a really good spot, but starting to get a little cramped here, so we'll see. Maybe this is a nice spot to go next. After this, Okay, huge 8. And does that yield a city? Definitely dev card. So dev card indeed. And gonna hope for another 8. This is a free resource. So probably city in hand now, I would say. Ooh, huge moves. Doing three wood, building one road, and the three wood is really good. I mean, monos in 1v1 are terrible, as a card, right? They're the least powerful because there's so few resources generated in general, and half of them are your own now. But three wood here, taking three wood and building a road and a settlement. So that's an absolutely huge turn. Now being able to kind of be slightly ahead on ore production. So pretty good spot. Ahead on wheat production, ahead on ore production. Now, not so much, but not too far behind either, So not terrible, not terrible. Now, of course, coordinated 8s are crazy good, right? But, it could pull back. And, these 7s will help. Hitting back on the 5 wood, which, is really useful with that port. Going back to the 4. And the 8 hits again. This has got to be a city. Going to be right here. And now this is a free resource too. So it's looking kind of rough. And I think here this is probably AVP. We'll see. Okay. So nice city there. So pulling it back to 6 and 6, but Sai here obviously with the advantage here by ports, and by the singular dev card that he hasn't played yet, and resources you could say, but obviously Spatula Steve has that 2 nights played, so that's really good, right? We'll take that. Okay, and I think my prediction of 2 side winning this, I think it will come correct. We'll see. I think 2 dev cards in hand is looking really good. Every 5 or 9 is a free resource. 2 5s is 3 free resources. It's just like a crazy amount of. And honestly, it's kind of nice to not share this 4 spot. Hypothetically, right? If red had made it here before orange, and orange had made it there, this game may turn out very differently. Perhaps this is even a bait. Maybe this is a trap of some sort, by going here first, right? It's possible. I don't know. This is very, very interesting stuff, right? Like I think this is like crazy stuff. It's so close, and both players are playing so well that it's just edging out. And I think here, orange just has the space to kind of work with to take longest road in general, right? So this will have to be the long way around, kind of like this. But in that case, you don't waste any roads. So not going this way, going this way instead, which is very interesting. Maybe going this way and going around like that. Who knows, right? There's a lot of options here. And the point is, I think somehow trying to get this port as well. I don't think this is as wise as perhaps going here and connecting for the longest road, because I think this will be the path you want to kind of go down as red. This is kind of where you want your road to kind of go. If you go here, it's kind of like, well, yeah, you get the extra brick and you get the brick production. But was it worth the extra time it took you to connect your roads in this race for longest road, right? it's like very marginal. And instead, you have to build 2 more roads on top of that with a brick port. So you're already going to be trading your brick, which is your only source of road production. And in exchange, you're going to have to build 2 more roads to get to this spot, which is a bit tough, right? Like, I don't know if I love that trade when I think about it that way. But able to claim longest road here with 5 roads and settling, absolutely huge. The production is just massive, right? So you can't go too wrong, I guess. I think that was a super quick settle. So he will be fine and in good shape. Just needs to road. Well, road, settle, road. So we'll see. Here we have the robber back on the 4, and we see that was because the knight is played 2 to 2 on knights. So what's coming down to it, we're going to need to see a dev card here. Absolutely huge to get 3 ore there. $13 cards in hand. Buying a dev card. Buying another dev card. Hoping for 2 knights there for sure, because there's likely a knight in his hand. Ooh, amazing, another 3 ore. Does not have a knight in hand. Ooh. So I think now discarding. That to me shows that neither of those were knights, which is crazy to me. So no one has knights, but they both have 2 dev cards. Man, it's as neck and neck as it gets, honestly. Like, if not for this road being taken, it would be so neck and neck, and, Spatula Steve could take it back at any point. Now, this is a better block, officially, so, Sai did nothing except for making him lose his only source of wood production there, or of road production. Able to city again. And now, Spatula Steve is ahead on cities. The diversification might have helped in ore. The slightly more reproduction. It's incredibly close for how many ports Sai has. I'm very surprised. We got 9 and 9 with 1 dev card in hand each. Both of them had knights in hand, and I guess forgot to play it, which is absolutely outrageous. Even the champs make mistakes. But here, obviously, moving it off to go there and then Sai moving it back, I think it would have been nice to see someone play it first, but perhaps they both thought that this will be a long fight anyways, and 3 will not be the end by any means. But it is getting down to it, right? So we're at 9 and 9, maybe both have a VP. This is interesting. So trying to get some extra ore production, which is fine, but going to absolutely lose longest road here if he's not careful. So it's like very, very tense, right? It can like literally go back and forth. They each have a bonus 2 points. 2 roads here to connect and absolutely shut down longest road for now. Yeah, crazy dev card. So it wasn't a VP, but it might as well have been 2, because an amazing perfect play with perfect timing and getting to 9, a road length of 9. Instead, now Sai here with 5, needing to build 4 roads to beat out Spatula Steve's 9. And yeah, I mean, that's a really tough spot to be in now if you're Sai. A settlement spot is wide open here, so would be at 12 with that. And Sai here, for all the ports, hasn't been able to accomplish much. Here, finally being able to city, and the 8 immediately hits. So close to that city here, and any port exchange will grant him that city, which would mean 4 cities. I don't know where he expects to go. but perhaps here, I don't know, whatever, right? Now having to make a decision on moving it somewhere else, probably going to go here if I'm him, or here. This actually makes some sense, especially since it's late game. But here as well is perfectly fine as well to cut him off from brick altogether. And probably didn't steal anything too valuable. I don't know if there's a great city spot that I would feel great about, but you gotta place it for the VP at some point, so might as well do it now if you have it. But instead of buying a dev card, which I agree with, I think dev card is better here, if you can do it. And building a road. So not even worried about the longest road race right now. Seemingly confident that he can probably get largest army back next turn, which is why he went for that. And I think it is coming this turn. Actually, it may not come. It may not come until a 7 is rolled. It'll be a long time to get to 15 still, because Spatula Steve is at a clean 11. But well, not a clean 11. We could say clean 6 or clean 7, right? But on paper, it is an 11, and that is her true score. Sai here, on the other hand, probably at 9, but it's going to be at 11 when taking back largest army. And Spatula Steve is going to be at 9 and probably take largest army back at some point. So it's a very, very tight race. An absolutely devastating mono from Sai, stealing 8 wheat, an absolutely insane number in 1v1 Catan. No ports, right? So this is like 2 resources for Spatula Steve. It's gonna be hard to get that back. Yeah, an absolutely devastating move, and we're gonna see what he can do with that. 3 for 1 port in hand, buying a dev card, trading with the bank for 2 ore, buying another dev card, and then what? Probably and buying another dev card. So 3 dev cards with that turn. So not too much, but definitely there are still VPs right in that deck. There's plenty of knights. This is going to be important, and a city is not as worth it. And we were just shown that, right? Like clearly he made the decision to not take the city and instead go for 3 dev cards. I respect it. I think it makes sense. And now 5s here again. 2 5s makes 3 free resources, and that's absolutely huge for Sai. And these ports are coming in handy now, it turns out. But an absolutely devastating mono. And that could absolutely turn the tide of the game right there. And the settle comes down. He's at 9 to Spatula Steve's 11. But Spatula Steve has both 2 VP bonuses. So could lose that at any point. Could easily have a road builder in hand. Could Sai. And taking it back does Sai. He takes back the largest army. And yeah, we saw it coming. Longest road might come soon. We'll put him at 13, and in which case, you know, it'll be GG's pretty soon. Yeah. It's looking rough. It's looking rough for Spatula Steve. I think those ports really did make a difference. Obviously, the mono was insane. But you don't get to buy 3 dev cards without using that port. So use it 3 times, right? Use that 3 for 1 port 3 times. So it was absolutely crucial. And yeah, I think Sai here is in good shape to take this game 1. And 6s are a free resource too. 2 6s makes 3 3 free resources, which is, again, absolutely insane. And they do come. I think he might be AFK at this point. He might come back. I don't know exactly what this means, but I'm going to assume that it means rebuttal means the second game. So we'll see. We'll see. That's coming soon. That's coming soon. That'll be tomorrow. I mean, I'm recording it today, but you'll see it tomorrow, right? And that's game. So 3 VPs in hand, actually. So a lot easier than I thought. I didn't think about the 3 VPs in hand. But yeah, it was over for a while. So 15-9 victory, a very nice victory. Let's look at the stats. A lot of 7s here. Pretty even distribution. You know, some 2s here. Can't complain too much. The 6s didn't come too much. But it's only really Sai who was affected by the 6s, so nothing crazy, I would say. But you see, this board just yielded itself so well. It didn't yield itself to brick because no one took the brick, right? And then it was blocked and things like that, right? Resource stats, Sai produced the most, won the game, makes sense. Yeah, it was a great game. Great uses of dev cards all around. I really enjoyed it. That was game 1. We are going to be back with game 2 coming up tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. 2 champs going at it. You don't see that very often, so I'm glad we get to cover it. Alright.